Okay. This is a really intense event, the second day of Polkadot Decoded. So thank you everyone for keeping it up, being still ever here at this presentation. So before we jump into this journey, before we travel from Web 1 to Web 3 and look into Metaverse and how we can use Metaverse productively and efficiently, together, everyone, let's take a deep breath. I know it's super intense, but let's jump into the big question. If we really need Metaverse, if it's really helping us, what it is anyways. We see it everywhere. Everyone's speaking about Metaverse. That's the hype. That's the new thing. You want to be in Metaverse. But let's see. Raise your hands if you have been to the Metaverse, if you had Metaverse experience. Okay? Like 5 people from the audience? It's not too much. Okay, then let's see. Raise your hands if you enjoyed your time in this Metaverse. Okay, it's a bit less. And now raise your hands if you were there. You enjoyed your time and you found it to be productive and useful. Wow, 0. 0, really interesting. So I want to prove you wrong, because I will show you how Metaverse can be used in a productive and useful way. And that's the thing here. Metaverse was just hyped, and nobody was delivering except a few projects, which are Polkadot-related projects. So we will look into those ones. I should also introduce myself, what I'm doing. I'm representing Polkadot here in this conference. I'm speaking about how we organize events, meetups, physical meetups, Polkadot-related other events, sometimes larger ones, and also how we organize Metaverse events. Because in the Polkadot Ambassador program, we started to utilize Metaverse in a meaningful way, in a way that it actually works and we can connect to each other. I'm also founder of CCTF, which is the biggest crypto hacking challenge competition, specifically organized for hackers. But we have 2 rounds where we utilize both the online collaboration, online challenges, and in the second round, we again have a physical event on a yacht. I will show you some pictures of how these events look like. I'm also co-founder of QRUCIAL. This is our Polkadot project where we want to improve the security of the ecosystem. The side note, I sent 3 notes to Polkadot Decoded. 2 were like super highly technical, hacking bridges, hacking all the systems and breaking substrate, which I thought, that will be the awesome presentation. Everyone will like hacking millions of dollars. And guess what? Out of the 3 talks, this is the one that got in, because I put Web3 and Metaverse in the title. I mean, I guess that's why. So that's magic, right? Okay, so that's what I love to do. That's why I'm here to speak about this. So what's this Metaverse phenomenon? How did it start? We started with the static web, HTTP protocol. What's interesting in this is we are still using HTTP as the core protocol of our systems in Web 3. We had this Web 2, which got totally commercialized, and it totally got bloated by large enterprise companies, got centralized, and it got exploited by large entities. And now we have the chance for Web 3, which might become actually decentralized. This is a new chance. So Web 3, as a large term, includes Metaverse. And then Metaverse can be the tool, the space where we interact with each other. And here is a common concept which people think about. A lot of people think that Metaverse is something with the VR and you need to be like this and going around in the world. No, if you look around the world and what metaverse means, it mostly means hope. People hope that something new comes, a new perception of reality comes to us and change our life to be better. We want to be in a better place, maybe, if we are into metaverse and all this kind of spaces. So this is a new experience. This is something that is becoming. We see this in IT for a long time, that we want to experience virtual spaces. If you look at games, why children play games? They disconnect from their reality, they disconnect from school and whatever, and then they enter something else where they feel better and they feel more fun. So, before we jump into the metaverse demo, let's see how you organize physical events, first of all, because in Web3, it's not just we go all digital and disconnect from our physical existence and fly to a magical space. We always, I think we always will have these physical events. And in case of Polkadot, these are most of the times meetups or large conferences like Polkadot Decoded. So just look at the pictures. I took these pictures from the events are organized. Polkadot meetup, CCTF. The third picture, it was shot yesterday at our ambassador meetup here in Berlin, Seabase Hackerspace. And the last picture is CCTF, where we are giving out the rewards. And why I'm showing this to you is because when you organize and execute an event like this, and you do it well, and you prepare, and you take your time to make it nice, people will be happy like this on the picture, and they will enjoy the projects more. You get connected to these people, you do some cool stuff together, and that's a really strong power that keeps the community together. So if you are into organizing something, if you are into joining Polkadot ambassador program, we have all the know-how and all the tools to help you to create meetups. You won't have issues with the minimal fund that is needed. It's not like super expensive to organize meetup, especially if you have a hackerspace around. Hackerspaces are very welcome, and the Parity or Web3 Foundation is here to help you to make it happen. And that's the power of the objective presence together, and I really recommend everyone not to forget it and don't underestimate that, because this makes the thing happen and moving on. Of course, events in Metaverse. So as I mentioned, there is CTFs, meetups, collaboration, even esports are now entering this Metaverse space. If you look at these pictures, we are not yet in a really happy mood like the previous time. Everyone is so happy, but don't underestimate what is becoming, because this is a process which we are getting through. So I prepared a demo for you. Let's switch to my screen, because I looked into the projects. I looked into Metaverse project, and I was working on figuring out which is the one that actually works and makes sense to spend time in it. And I was really happy to figure out that this project that is already working is a Polkadot-related project, and that's Momentum's Kusamaverse, where you can actually see Polkadot running. You can see the parachains, and you can go around in the world. And yeah. Why would it be a place where you stay? Why is it interesting? For me, I think Metaverse makes sense if we can have collaborative spaces. So let's have a look at Parity. So in this Metaverse, you can fly to locations, you can fly to each other, you can use audio, video chats, and so on. So this for me, is an example of how Metaverse should be working. You have connection to others, you can talk to each other, you can have a board where you present your project, and you can even collaborate with tools like Miro. So here is the question, how is that decentralized? Right now, we are not at a point where we can have everything Web3, everything decentralized, all the tools running on the IPFS storage and so on. We are not yet there. So what now we can do is to use more or less decentralized system and have it running and integrate Web2 tools and Web2 systems. Like I said, we are still using the static web's HTTP from the past. It's still there, and it's not going away in the next couple of years for sure. So that's a Miro board, which you can open. If you know the tool, then you'll know how it works. It's a collaboration board, and you can do brainstorming, you can develop product plans on it, and you can work together. And this is integrated into the Metaverse. You can do screen sharing and other functionalities which help you collaboration. And this is how I think Metaverse can be useful and can be enjoyable for everyone. So that was the demo I wanted to show you. Of course, this is still something that needs to be improved a lot, but at least we have something which we can utilize, and we can do our Polkadot ambassador meetings in this space. And I think it's really awesome because finally someone is utilizing Metaverse, all right? So how do you make it happen? How do you run communities? How do you organize events? So first of all, for the physical events, you probably should get a sponsor. You either go to your network, which we did in the Polkadot Hungary case, which we started last year. So we got a couple of sponsors like QRUCIAL and Inlock, and of course Web3 Foundation and Parity. And if you have a few companies, it's not too hard to put together 100 or 150 euros to get a location and get some food and pizzas. And that's the basic setup. Even more, you can get presenters in your event, because if you are in the ambassador program, we can help you to find a presenter. So what we did in Polkadot Hungary meetups, we brought presenters from Parity and Web3 Foundation. They helped us to present Polkadot as a project. We helped the community to compile substrate for those people who want to get into development. And all this knowledge is available, and you just need to ask. You just need to fill the ambassador registration form, and bam, you are there in the system. And if you prove that you are doing your events, you are doing translation, you are doing something useful for the community, then the community welcomes you. It even helps you with design, and it can help you even to find a location if you can't find a location. We also have a meetup.com account for the whole Polkadot ecosystem, and you can get a group there, and you can immediately get noticed by your local communities. And most importantly, do all this while having fun. Actually, my experience is that it's a lot of fun to organize events. So if you are into some things like this, then don't hesitate and just get started. How do you do the Metaverse meetup? More or less, I already show you an example, a demo. You just need to spend some time figuring out how you move around and how you set up your space in QRUCIAL. And then you can have a Metaverse meetup there. Or there are some other options I will show you in the next slide. I will give you some recommendations on what tools you can use to be productive and to organize your events. And of course, in Metaverse, you also need to have a venue. It depends how large your project is. basically, you just need to contact the Metaverse owners or the developers. You either get a room there, or you get funded to buy a small slot in the Metaverse, and you can use that. Okay, and here again, only do it if you are having fun. And the next level, it's not just about single events. It is about making the community running. It is about connecting to people. So when I started with this whole thing, we were doing other meetups locally in Budapest, but as we moved on and we were organizing the next one, the next one, the next one, I got connected to a lot of people, and now I'm here on stage, which I'm really happy, and thank you for that. It's because of the community, and the community helps me to be there. So that's the next level, that you do more. You engage in projects, you talk, and you are working on meaningful connections. You are not just going and drinking and sitting and talking about nothing, but you go and do something that is cool, something that makes sense. So if you have a great idea, then just move on and make it happen. These are the projects I wanted to mention in my talk. Momentum was the one I already showed you. It works, it's usable. The second one is not decentralized, but you can self-host it. It's called Work Adventure, and it's a 2D world. They also have a metaverse. You can try this out. It's a more simple version of a metaverse. I wanted to add an example here which works, which is usable, but it doesn't need to be blockchain related. And we have BitCountry. They have early access. You can get early access to their metaverse. We have Asylum, which is coming. It's also a Polkadot related project, and they will connect together metaverses, like metaverse interoperability, which I wanted to mention because I think it's a really interesting idea. Because metaverses at some point, they also need to be talking to each other. Affinity is doing something very similar, but with NFTs. We have Matrix. Parity, for example, is utilizing Matrix, and we also in QRUCIAL are using Matrix for all our communication. So that's a system which is not blockchain related, but it's a chat which you can self-host. Then we have CryptPad, and CryptPad again can be self-hosted. You can replace all the capitalist kind of drives which are centralized. And then we have Jitsi, again, that's for videos and talking, screen sharing, and minimal collaborations tools, which you can use for one-on-one meetings, or even up to, I think, up to 10 people, it's really fine. And I put a small meetup logo, because meetup.com, we have more than 10,000 members in the Polkadot community. So this is something we utilize to reach the people at specific locations. So thank you. That's what I wanted to show you. I hope I started some flames, and you will move on with organizing more and participating in the Polkadot system. I'm actually running out of time, so there will be no time for questions. Or do I have time? 1 or 2 minutes? I do. Awesome. Okay, so questions?
There's some online for you. If no one, did anyone raise their hand out here? All right. How can I access the metaverse if I'm not an ambassador yet?
How can you?
Access the metaverse if I'm not an ambassador yet.
How can you access if you are not an ambassador? You do not need to be. In most of the cases, QRUCIAL, Decentraland, and all these metaverses that are working, you can just use a guest account and enter. In case of QRUCIAL, you can also use your Polkadot.js account. So you do not need to be an ambassador.
Perfect, and that goes with the next question. Do I need to be an ambassador to host an event in the metaverse?
No, if you host an event, it can be any event. It's up to you what you organize. If you want to organize a Polkadot event, then you need to be at least a candidate.
Perfect. And what do you think, in your opinion, is needed in the metaverse so that events in the metaverse can be just as impactful as events in the real world?
It's really funny. We have a board there outside, and there are a lot of ideas on what Metaverse should be and how it should be executed so it becomes successful. I think some of the best ideas include to be able to create meaningful connections, efficiency, being able to do something productive. And of course, it should be working in an efficient way, so you do not wait minutes for loading screens and graphical lags and these kind of things, which are sometimes issues in Metaverse.
Amazing. And those were the questions.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Six.